that. Look at this. It's all pieces of microplastic. It's washed up shore here. The ocean works like a blender, and it's blending the plastic down to these smaller pieces.
At the moment, most of the research that's been done on microplastics is focusing on things that are larger than maybe 20 microns in size. Now that's smaller than a human hair, but we know that there's increasingly large numbers of smaller particles, these nanoparticles, that may be more harmful to us, but are very hard to detect and very hard to monitor. And we don't know whether they may be having toxic effects on us now or maybe sometime in the future. Things that are quite nicely coloured, big and small. White ones, we've got clear ones that are sometimes referred to as mermaid's tears actually. We've got blue ones, turquoise ones. We can potentially absorb them, so it could pass into our blood or lymphatic system and end up in our organs. And we are still learning about how many plastics there are at these very small sizes. You've got the blues and the greens and the pinks, and those plastic particles, if you like, are little time bombs waiting to break down small enough to be absorbed by wildlife or by people and then potentially have harmful consequences. But we don't know if that's happening yet. What we can say, I think, with some certainty is if we carry on at the moment as we're going, producing more and more plastic, not managing the waste very well, eventually we'll reach levels where there are thresholds exceeded and there are harmful effects on the environment and potentially even on ourselves. While we do swallow plastics in our food, we are mostly passing that through and it may not be harming us. However, there are the smaller plastics. So when we talk about microplastics, we're talking about things smaller than 5 millimeters in size. But plastic breaks down into in the environment into smaller and smaller pieces. So we can go from millimeters down to nanometers. And when we're down at the nanometer scale, we're talking about nanoparticles here, it is possible that they could be absorbed by our digestive systems and end up in our bodies.
Now you want to look at it? Probably still in the bottom.